up, everybody? What up, everybody? Let's talk about it. It's April Dawn. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is The Resident / G20 Netflix / Prime Video. Hey everybody, I'm back. I know it's been a couple of weeks, but it took me a couple of weeks to watch these two different shows that I want to talk to you about today, okay? So this is going to be light spoilers, so if you have not seen it, please go watch these shows and then come back to me, okay, and watch these videos. But I just want to get into a little bit of The Residents that's on Netflix. This is a Shonda Rhimes show, and I also want to talk about G20, which is a new Viola Davis movie that is out on Prime Video. So if you haven't watched those two things, that's the two things you can watch this week, okay? They're both very quick watches. So let's talk about The Residents first. I really enjoyed The Residents. My pros about this show was that it's a funny show. It's a campy whodunit type of show, right? It's one of those where we get to analyze the crimes from all angles, you know, Murder on the Orient Express type of vibe. Okay, so if you like that, you will like this show. We have God, I don't want to say her name, Uzo Aduba, I think that's her name. She is the lead of the show. If you ever watched Orange is the New Black? She played Crazy Eyes on that show. That's the most notable role I think she's had to this day. So she is the star of the show, which I really love. We have Giancarlo Esposito. I say this man right. Giancarlo Esposito, okay, as AJ Winter, the head butler. That's my son going in and out the room, y'all. But AJ Winter, the head butler of the White House. We also, I did not see this until the end of the show that Andre Braugher was supposed to play that character that Giancarlo Esposito played, but he passed away. They said he had filmed more than half of the scenes, half of the shows, and he passed away at that time. So, you know, they had a, remembrance card for him at the end of the show, which I really appreciated. So my pros about this show is that the show was funny. It was witty. It was subtle, but witty. Very intelligently funny. I really enjoyed the cinematography of the show. I love the way they made the house kind of look like a dollhouse when you got the far away view. So we got to see like an overview of the house. I really enjoyed that. I love the bird watching aspect that was in the show. We learned a lot about some birds. If you didn't know some stuff about birds, you definitely learned something watching this show and how her bird watching affects her, her way of processing things. She has birds. She connects them to certain things they do, behaviors, the way they hide themselves, the way they gather food, and she kind of equates these things to people, and you can see kind of she puts this story together. Okay, so I really enjoyed those things. I love the campiness of the show. I loved that, we were unserious in a very serious place. You know what I'm saying? We recognize that the White House is a 100-year-old building that's old and probably raggedy a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It already burned down once. You know what I'm saying? So I really love that aspect, and I thought it was a smart comedy. Some things that I thought they could have done better was it was too long. They took a very long time to get to the point. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a long time to watch the show because I kept falling asleep on it because it's very wordy. It's very small stories inside of a big story, so you get a lot of the small stories of the different characters. And so but we had a lot of exposition. I mean, the whole show is basically I'm telling you everything that happened, so it's a lot of exposition. So I ain't gonna lie, it drug a little bit for me. Okay, it drug for me. And not to mention, I don't know if y'all have heard about this show, but it's a show, Something Party. I can't remember, but it's on Apple TV. It stars Tiffany Haddish, and it is literally the same show. They go to a party. They're not at the White House. They're at a party, but somebody dies at this party, and Tiffany Haddish is the detective. She sits down with each person. Each episode is a, telling of the tale, but from their perspective. We find out at the end of this episodes who did it, who was the whodunit. They get arrested. Show is over. It's literally the same show. I think that was part of the reason why I just couldn't really fully get into it or whatever. It took me days and days. Like, I had to go back and watch like 3 or 4 episodes. Child, I was like, these people on the internet, I done told these people I'm gonna be on time and I'm gonna be faithful, and then it took me 2 weeks to watch this doggone show. Not to mention, I have gigs, I have a lot of things going on. But yeah, I'll show you a little bit of the gig right here. Okay, So that was a little bit of the gig from last weekend I did. But yeah, I'm singing background. You can't even really see me. I'm sitting in the back singing background. I'm saying all that to say it took me a long time to watch it. Okay? It wasn't boring. It just was drug out. I think they could have did this in 6 episodes. No tea, no shade. We could have got this in 6 episodes, not 8 episodes, okay? One thing that I wanted to say was good was the acting. The acting was great from everybody. I don't know if I said that already, but the acting was amazing from everybody. It's one of the reasons I kept watching the show, even though I kept falling asleep on it. I kept going back to it because I wanted to see it because it was good. The acting was good. All of that stuff was good. And I did like the intertwining stories and, all of that. But like I said, I think even the show recognizes that this is really dramatic and has been drug out for a long time. Can we get to the point? But overall, I think you should check it out on Netflix. It's a great watch. It's not my favorite Shonda Rhimes show that she's pulled out of this Netflix situation. I do kind of feel like it was a ripoff of that show on Apple TV, or maybe, the people who wrote the shows was friends, and then they went to the other people and was like, okay, can you produce this? Yes, will you produce this? Maybe like Bill Gates and and Steve Jobs. Because it's literally the same show, okay? Just a different place where it happens, but it's the same show. So anywho, let's move on. The next movie I want to talk to you about is G20, starring Viola Davis, Anthony Anderson, Marsai Martin. It was very, very good. I think that was Marsai Martin. I think that was her. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. She played the daughter. Light spoilers, not too many deep spoilers for this movie. So this movie, it was cute. It reminded me of an early 2000s or like late 90s, you know what I'm saying? Die Hard, Black Hawk Down, you know what I'm saying? Those type of movies where something happens and, somebody either got to save the president or, somebody have to be like rogue and go back to their old self and do the things they used to do so that the people can survive. You know what I'm saying? It was that, but this time it was a badass black woman, okay? Which was great. It was great to see her 50-something-year-old self out there with the gun. It was one scene where it was almost like a video game. She had the gun and she was like, pow, 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 pow. She was shooting people, and then like it was silence for like 3 seconds, and then just like her spidey senses activated and she turned around and was like, pow, pow, pow. It was badass. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I love to see that. I love to see the fact that Viola Davis is like a real woman. She looks like a woman. She's not perfect. She still got a dip. She still walk with a dip. Hey, walk with a dip. She walked with a little dip. She is a black woman who looked like a real woman, not like she fine. Don't get me wrong. Viola Davis is a Hollywood actress. She's gorgeous. You know what I mean? But y'all know what I'm saying. It was good to see her doing that. And I know her and her husband, Sydney, had a hand in producing the film or developing the film. They have a production company. So I thought that was really, really cool. Now, the negatives about the movie is that the plot is somewhat predictable and confusing because I didn't really get the whole cryptocurrency angle that he was trying to get the people to say on the video. That wasn't really made clear. But when you watching these kind of movies, y'all, that kind of stuff, do it really matter? We just know that he's a bad guy. He's from another country. He's a mercenary. And he done captured trying to steal money from all the peoples of the world. So if you want to watch her do a Die Hard, save everybody, I don't even know what's going on, but she saves everybody and beats people up and does all that kind of stuff, then this is a movie you want to watch. This is something that you want to get into for your Saturday afternoon with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Put it on. Y'all sit down. Yeah, get you some popcorn. Do it, baby. This is the type of movie for that. This is an Independence Day. This is a Black Hawk Down, a Die Hard type of film. It's not a lot of F-bombs in the movie. It's, I don't even know if they had any, to be honest with you. I can't remember any like heavy cursing or nothing like that. It's very appropriate for the family. It's very cute, very demure, very mindful. No, very cute, y'all. So yeah, those are the 2 things I watched this week. I'm trying to get into The Handmaid's Tale. Okay, this is the last season. The girls are in a revolution. Okay, so if you remember last season, they decided to go back. Her and him decided to go back. And although I would be mad because she keep going back to stuff we don't want her to go back to, this time, my hope is that it's going to be different this time. This is the last season. Them hoes finna revolt. Okay, I want to know what y'all think. Have you watched it? The first, and you ain't watched it, get into it, baby. It's on Hulu, the first 3 episodes, and I ain't seen now one of them. I put it on, but I just wasn't in the mood the other day. I wasn't in the mood. I couldn't do it. Yeah, I couldn't do it, y'all. So yeah, get into The Residence. get into, and I wasn't gonna do an episode by episode, but baby, by the time I got to episode 4 and I had to watch episode 2 and 3 5 times, I said I'm not doing no episode by episode. We're not going to do that. We're not gonna do that. Okay, we're just gonna give you the review for the season. 8 episodes. Watch it. G20, watch it with your family. All right, y'all. I'll holler at you on the next video. Do not forget to like. Do not forget to comment. Do not forget to subscribe. And so, people who are new to my channel, I do use this channel as like a hub for all of my performance videos, audition videos. So you will see random things popping up of me performing somewhere or me submitting an audition tape. So you might see a monologue. You might see me singing and dancing and be like, why is this person? Because this is ultimately what I want to do with my life. So I use this as a hub to put all these things so that when I need them for different auditions, I have somewhere to go to get them or whatever. So watch them, enjoy them. If you notice, I do not monetize any of those videos. Most of the time they have other people music in them if I'm singing or so yeah, I do not monetize those videos. Those are just for your enjoyment. If you want to see me sing, there's a whole playlist I've created called Dawn of A Live. Okay, so go to my playlist and you can see that, and you can see all the different videos of me singing and you know, trying to do what I can do, y'all. All right, so